Hi, y'all. It's your girl, Karen the Karrot. Peep my beanie. If you want to buy one, you can get yourself one on my Etsy shop because I made it. And it's like a little roller skate. Wait. It's a little roller skate. It's a roller skate with a carrot and a little rooster. And if you've been like following me for a while, or like on Instagram, or just for like I have videos, I have a pet rooster, and he actually lives in my mom's house in Whittier because I moved out to Long Beach and you're not allowed to have chickens in Long Beach, I think. But yeah, I love roosters, and I actually have him right here with me, and here he is. His name is Maclovio. He has his own Instagram. It's at Maclovio the Rooster. And he's tiny. He has little like talons, and I don't know how to cut them. People always tell me to cut them, and I've seen videos, but they just like bleed out, and it grosses me out. So I don't know. But here's my son. I love him so much. I've known him now for like 3 years. 3 years since I met him, and I think he's been living in my mom's house for like 2 years. Oh, he's like trembling, but his little patas always shake. If I hold him like this, he's like exposed to the cold, so I just kind of like cuddle him like this. So he's here. So here's Maclovio. I'm keeping him like down here so he's like nice and warm, because it's kind of chilly out here, you know? So I'm wearing a beanie, and you should get one too. So I love him so much. I even got him tattooed on me, and this is my second tattoo ever. And no, I'm filming. So I have a tattoo of him, and here it is. Ooh, can you see it? So he has little Doc Martin roller skates. He has a little chain and a little pin, because he's a punk cock. This was actually done by my good friend Eddie. I met him in college in art class, and he was always so freaking good. Like, his paintings were always the best, and he's a Virgo, so you know, like, he pays attention to detail. And yeah, I'll put his Instagram so you guys can check him out. I'm just gonna tell you the story of how I got him, of how I met him. Like 2 years ago, I was working at my dad's tire shop. He had a tire shop in Wilmington, but they only sold tires for like big trucks, like big rigs, transportation trucks. I'm trying to get him in the shot. Yeah, you know, like the scary ones that you see in the freeway. So across the street there is a lot, and this lot was so you can park those big ass trucks. And the owner of the lot had chickens. He had like a bunch of chickens, and like a bunch of them were like roaming, and you would see them like throughout the neighborhood and like on the corners and stuff. And some of them were caged, and I think, you know, like he had them for eggs, I don't know. But then he had this little one, and he's missing his like little like crest and stuff, and I'll explain that like at the end. But yeah, he was like so tiny, and he was just walking around, and eventually he like crossed the street. Literally, he crossed the street to be with me. If that isn't destiny, then I don't know what it is. But this little chicken rooster crossed the street, and he came into the office, and that's where I worked at, in my dad's tire shop. And he kind of just liked it. Like, he would just like chill in the corner, you know, like walk in, walk out. They would like shoosh him out, and they're like, okay, bye, rooster. And then we had cats, so like whenever there was a cat and he was inside, we were like, oh, okay, like the cat's out there, you know, so we would like protect him. But then like my boss, my other, like my dad and my his business partner were like my boss, so like my other boss, he would call the guy and be like, hey, like your rooster's here, like do you want him back, like do you want to come pick him up? And then he was like, yeah, I'll pick him up. And then eventually, like like every day he would be crossing the street and just chilling with us in the office. So then like I was all like, oh my god, that's so funny, like you guys have a rooster as a pet, ha ha ha. And then they would start getting like food for him, and like a little like bowl of water, and like people would come in and be like, what kind of pet do you have? You know, like you have little like grains. And they're like, oh yeah, like the rooster, like, you know, like he'll come and we'll feed him. And then eventually, like, I got brave and I would like try to catch him. And then he would like love to just be held. Like, he likes to be like warm like this. And like he has this little like thing right here where if it's like really white, it means he's really calm and he likes to be like held like this. And when it's red, it means he's like angry or like triggered. So, you know, color code your pets. And yeah, and it was cool to like try to catch him, you know. And sometimes he would peck us, and then sometimes he would like attack us randomly. Like,
why are you running? Why are you running?
Like, we would just be walking, and like the scariest thing is that like you have to be walking behind him. If he walks behind you, like something your ankle does, like he just won't have it, he'll peck you. And
go to your room, Maclovio. Why always gotta be in my room? Don't talk back to me.
it's like scary because they're like little dinosaurs, dude. They really are like some Jurassic World things. Another day came and he came over, and my boss called the guy, and the guy was like, hey, you know what, do you guys just want to keep him? Because I'm like tired of going over there and like bringing him back. Like, do you guys want him? Like, he likes it over there. And then we're like, yeah. Like, I was like, yeah, let's keep him, you know, like he's funny, and like it can like promote business or whatever. I don't know, I just wanted to keep him. And then we kept him, and it was like my responsibility. And like, yeah, he would like shit all over the office, but I would always like pick it up or whatever. And he was just like our little like office pet. My dad and his business partners would have like customers come in, and they would like talk, sit around, and like, and then they would be like, oh my god, like this little gallito is human, you know. That's how you say rooster in Spanish, gallo. But like to make things small and cute, we say like ito, like gallito, or like someone's name, like Luisito, like, I don't know, that makes sense. I would say like that this little rooster seemed human, because it was true. He would just like come around and he would chill, and he would like to be around where people were, and like just chill in the corner and like feel safe. I don't know if this is just like a chicken thing, but like or like a bird thing. But then like right when we were getting ready to leave, you know, like it was like a 9 to 5, so we get out at 5, and like the sun was setting, and right when everyone was getting ready to leave, like he would like disappear, and he would like climb like shelves so he could get like really high and feel safe. And then, you know, and then like the people that would like come in the morning, they would open, you know, like they would turn on the lights, and then he would start like you know, like crowing and stuff. And he's so cute, like his little crow is so cute. Look at him, isn't he the cutest? So of course he was a big reason why I went vegan, because one day like I was literally like holding him like this, and like I put my hand like right here to like hold him, and this is like his breast, you know, and it's his chicken breast, and it's like, I eat this. But it didn't really click to me until one time that like I was scrolling on Instagram, and like I don't know if like someone reposted it or not, but it was just like a video from like a slaughterhouse, and they just had like all these chickens like lined up like in a little like conveyor belt, and then there was this like saw, and it was just like sawing like all their necks, and like not even like cutting them full weight, just like so they bleed out. And I was just like, what the hell? Like I was watching that with my eyes and holding a little chicken like this. And then the part that like confused me the most, or like made me think about the most, is that like we all pay like $1 for like a McChicken, you know, like his life is like worth less than $1, because if you think about it, it's the dollar that we pay that's the profit. So that means that like when they get them, when they sell them, they're selling them for like 13 cents or I don't know, something crazy like that. And it's like, I would die for him. Like if he ever ran away, I would have like, you know, like a reward for like more than 13 cents. I would $200. I don't know, like he means a lot to me now, and it's just crazy. And you know, he's so like a little kid, and I don't know. But so okay, so then I saw that and then I transitioned, and I'll do another video explaining how I turned vegan, like how I went about it. I'm like crouching and my legs hurt because I just tried to jump like from a curb like a million times, but then I feel like you can't hear me. So then, you know, like I was still working there, and I worked there for a year and he was there, and then they kind of like, oh, and then he started getting brave and like leaving the office and going to like other like buildings. And one time he like crossed the fence and he went to like our neighbor's lot. He had another lot, and it was like this whole thing because we had to call like the owner, the guy, and then he wasn't there and he had to come and like open it so we could get like our little chicken out. And it was just like, you know, like annoying. And then he went down the street again, and there was these like two like cholo guys, and they were like throwing like a blanket over him to catch him. And then thankfully like my boss, like he was like, hey, like that's my guy, yo, like don't mess with him, like I'm gonna take him back. And then he was like, oh, like he's just roaming out here. And then he was like, yeah, I know, but like that's mine. And then they were like, okay. And then like they wanted like to ground him, you know, for like being a bad chicken and like escaping and almost getting killed. Oh my god, Maclovio has a record for almost getting killed, dude. Like he's a little survivor though, look at him. Yeah, so then there's punishment was that they like put him in a cage back to like the original owner. He had the cages, and they put him there for like a week supposedly. So then I was all working, like all sad because I couldn't play with Maclovio. I just had to do like dumb office work, and it was so annoying. And office jobs are not for me. That's how I learned. But it was just like so boring. And then one time like my sister came to visit. It was like on a Saturday or something. And then I was like, hey dude, like let's go visit Maclovio real quick. And then we're like, okay. And we went and we like looked around, and then there was this little chicken that had like no crest and no little like gobble thing. I don't know, I'll look up the word, I promise. And we were just like, is that him? Like, no way. Like, why would they cut it? Like, no way. Kind of like passed by him, and dude, he knew that it was us. Like, he's smart. You can tell like who you are. He knows that. Like, his like brain like maybe the size of a pea, but like he recognizes people. But kind of like passed by him, and we were like looking at more like chickens like in cages, and then we heard him crow, and we're like, no dude, that's him. And we were just like shocked that like they would do that to him, and we were like crying, and we were like like we're busting him out. And then he was like in this little cage, and like it didn't even have food, like the water was all nasty, and I was like I'm like busting you out of here. And I literally like busted him out, and I took him, and I was like, he's coming to live with us because I can't, like he's so significant, he's like made so much like change in my life, like I'm not gonna just let him die here. So I brought him to Whittier, and like the first few nights he was sleeping in my room. Eat it. He would wake me up so early, like at 7, but still it's so loud. And then like, you know, but he has like a lot of room back here to enjoy. So then he was living here, and oh my god, I have to tell you like this story of like one time this little ass chicken jumped this big ass fence that's like, you know, he jumped it because it like they have wings, and like they can't like fly, but they can like elevate, you know, like in a video game when you like double jump or whatever. So he did that, and this fool like, oh my god, I was just by myself in my house, and then I didn't hear him crow for a long time. And then I like went out, and then I was like, Maclovio, and when I do that, he like runs to me, and he wouldn't. And like I heard like a because like, okay, chickens have like a lot of noises, and it's so funny, but like me and my siblings, like we know all the noises, like what they all mean. And I remember I heard like a yell, like he was yelling, like this was like a cry for help. because sometimes like there's hawks that like hover, and he'll do that yell like when he sees one, and you know, and then I was like worried, and then I was like like I'm gonna go around the block and like look for him. And I was like looking for him, and I was like knocking on like my neighbors' doors, and like I was like, have you seen my pet chicken? And like I was crying, and then I was just like walking around, and I was just like telling myself like he's hurt, like he's not dead, like he's hurt, he's not dead, like he's not dead, like he's hurt, he's just hurt, like he's not dead, like he's not dead. And I was all crying, and then I like walked around like the side of like the block, and then I see this little chicken like under a car, and I'm like, oh my god, Maclovio, like la la. But like that scares chickens, like you have to be very calm with them. And I was like, Maclovio, like get your over here. And I try to grab it, and this fool like pecked me, and I was like, bro, I'm trying to save you. And he pecked me, and I was all mad, but I was all crying. And then I eventually like I caught him, and then I was like holding him, and I was all crying. And then I like looked like to the side, and there was a cat that was like preying on him. And I was just holding him, and I was like, Maclovio, like don't do that anymore. And then like we clipped his wings so like he wouldn't like fly away. But yeah, and that was so funny, and like I posted like an Instagram story of me like crying. Like I'm gonna try to find it so I could put it. I just spent the whole morning crying and looking for him because he ran out. Now I found him. Look at him. But yeah, like he almost always dies. And like one time he like flew across the fence, and our neighbors had like a huge husky. And I wasn't there for this one, but like my sister told me they had a huge husky, and he was just like, he like went over, and he was just like, bah, 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 bah. Like she went over, and she was like, please, 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 my chicken flew over, like can I get him? He was hiding on top of their barbecue so like the dog wouldn't eat him. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like he still lives here, he's still alive, I still love him. And that's why I put like chickens on like my logos and stuff, because I don't know, people always tag me in chicken stuff, and I feel like I was definitely a bird in my past life. I don't know if you guys believe in past lives or not, or like have like a certain connection with an animal, because my favorite animal ever is an owl. Like I'm just fascinated by them, like everything they represent, like metaphysical, and like how badass they are like in the real world. And I feel like it's like one of like my guides, or like my like, yeah, okay, I'm getting way too spiritual, but I have a connection with birds, and I love all birds, and I just love chickens. Like they're so funny. And you know what, like chickens are the most abused animal on the planet. So I don't know, just like reconsider like removing chickens from your plate like every often. Like I don't know, that's just like my pledge to the world, you know. But yeah, that's it for today. This is just another part of my life, why I love chickens, why I have a rooster tattoo, why I'm vegan. Yeah, I hope you guys liked getting this more inside view into my life. I really appreciate you guys. Leave me a comment if you guys have a favorite animal, or like if there's an animal that like you really connect to. I would love to hear. And let me know if you have chickens or birds too, because I would love to know that too. So please subscribe to my channel for more Pet Rooster roller skate shenanigans, and make sure to check out my Etsy shop. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.